Yeah. Turn the other way. Guys.
Viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the program Mathematics for JHS. In our previous lesson, we looked at how to round values to a stated number of decimal places, or to round them to the nearest tens, hundreds, or thousands. Today, we shall look at how to round them to the nearest units, nearest tenths, or to round them to the nearest whole number. That is what we'll be doing today. Class, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All right, I gave you take home in our previous lesson, and we will have to look at it before we'll go into today's lesson. You are to round 3.89274 to 3 decimal places. So viewers, we are doing this together. We are going back to look at the question I gave to you the last time. So 3 decimal places. Ochad, do that for us.
3.892 plus 1.
3.892, 3 decimal places. So we realize that the 3 decimal places are 892, but the next one is 7, which is more than what? 5, greater than 5. So we can add 1 to 2. Asifa, what's the answer?
3.893.
Then B, to the nearest thousands. Samira, what do we do? The nearest thousands.
3.892 plus 1. 3.892 plus 1.
Tawfiq, what's the answer?
3.893.
So what do you see? What's the difference? Is there any difference? Asifa, do you find any difference? Yes. So when you are asked to round to 3 decimal places, it's the same as what? Round to the nearest thousands. That's what I want to establish. If it is 1 decimal place, then it's the same as to the nearest what? Tenth. If it is 2 decimal places, it's the same as to the nearest what? Hundreds. So that fact, you must know that. Okay, so we move straight to what we shall be looking at today, which is rounding off to the nearest units, tens or hundreds or whole number. Okay. So we are to round 74.9 to the nearest tens. Based on what we did earlier, what do we do?
So please, if the decimal place is more than 5,
Okay.
you round it, so it will be 74 plus 1.
74 plus 1. Samira, are you okay?
Sir, please.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay. Asifa, do you understand what Ochad is saying? Yes. So just as we did in the case of tens, hundreds, and thousands, it's the same with units, tens, and hundreds. So in this case, the other one was about the right side of the decimal fraction. This time we are looking at what? The left side of the decimal fraction. The 74 we have there is 7 is under tens, and 4 is under what? Units. So if you are to round this to the nearest unit, then you are looking at the what? The 4. So we are talking about 74. But because after the point you are having 9, which is more than 5, you add 1 to the 4. So you end up with what? You end up with 75. So to the nearest tens, you have 75. Any questions? Any questions? Can we move on? Okay, so we take another example. Don't forget, in the previous case, don't forget the decimal point. It has to be 75 point what? 0. The 0 is still significant. It shows that it is to what? 1 decimal place. So in the second example, it is round 75.0 to the nearest tens. Samira, what do you do? To the nearest tens.
It is 75.
75, the nearest tens. Yes, Orchard?
Sir, 7.
Orchard? To the nearest tens.
8.
What do you do? It will be
8.
8. Is that all?
8.0.
Tawfiq?
85.0.
85.0. Asifa?
8.0.
You are looking at to the nearest what? To the nearest tens. Are you okay? So to the nearest tens, we are interested in 7 because that is the tens column. Are you okay? So you write 7. But the 5 is what? It's unit. And is it greater or less than 5? Or is equal to 5? Are you okay? In this case, can you round it? Tofik, can you round it? So what do?
You add 1 to the 7.
You add 1 to the 7. But the place of the 5 now becomes what? 0. Are you okay? It's like this. This is what you have. So you end up with 80.0. So to the nearest tens, this is how you do it. The 75.0 becomes what? 80 point what? 0. That's how you convert to the nearest tens. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, so I'll give you examples to do on your own. If you don't have any questions to ask me, I do have questions for you. So, viewers, you have to try the example on your own. You are to round 35672.0 to the nearest units, nearest tens, and nearest hundreds. So let's do that. I'll inspect your answers. Asifa. We didn't throw away the 0. Now we're doing 480. You wrote 8 plus 0. So this is correct. The 0 should have come after this. The next one, the 2 will go, but there should be 0 there. Are you okay? Mm-hmm. That's how it is. So it should have been 7-0. Yes. So when you do for this 7 will also go, but there will be 0 there. Are you okay? Yes, sir. Are you struggling to do? Where's your own? To the nearest tens. Which one is the tens? Which one? If you are starting from here, you'll be saying thousands, so not tens. So the tens is here. This tens, hey, this unit, tens, hundreds, thousands, millions, and that order. Are you okay? Perfect. Okay. All right, so let's go back to our work. Now we are to round 35672.0 to the nearest unit. As if to the nearest unit. How do you do it? Viewers, we are doing it together, so be part of the solution. Yes? You are rounding it to the nearest unit. So you are supposed to locate the unit column. Which one is the unit?
2.
2. So rounding it to the nearest unit will be what?
So it will be the same.
So we have, say it.
35672.
Point what? 0.
0.
So to the nearest unit, that is exactly what we have. Are you okay?
Yes.
Now, to the nearest tens, what do you have? Tawfiq. to the nearest tens.
35670.0.
So to the nearest tens, which one is the tenth column? Which one falls under tens?
7.
7. So you make sure you write it up to that point. So now what do you do to the 2?
So you bring 0.
What do you do to the 2? Is it greater?
It's less than 5.
So what do you do?
So you bring 0.
You bring 0. So you are only adding 0 to the 7.
Yes.
Are you okay? But once the 2 does not appear, 0 will take its place. 0.0. So this is how you write it to the nearest what? Tens. So the nearest tens you are looking at up to 7. The next value is what? Less than 5. So you don't add anything to the 7. It remains 7. But then 0 will take the place of 2. Now to the nearest hundreds. Samira, based on what we have done, to the nearest hundreds, what do we do? Which of the which one is the hundreds? Look at the figure. Which one is the hundreds column?
6.
6. So tell us what we should do.
356.
356.
Plus 1.
Plus 1. What happens to the 7?
We approximate it because it is greater than 5.
So what value will we put there now?
0.
0. Then this other 0 comes. Are you okay? Are you fine? So you bring point what? 0. So you only add 1 to 6. Ochad. So what's the answer now?
35700.0.
Yes. So viewers, if we are to round 35672.0 to the nearest unit 2 is under units column. So we are writing it up to 2. And after the decimal point, because there is no number more than 5, you don't add anything to 2. So you only write up to the unit column, 35672. That is rounding it to the nearest unit. Then to the nearest tens, you look at the tens column, which is what? 7. Because 2 is less than 5, you don't add anything to 7. So to the nearest 5, we are talking nearest tens, we are talking about 35670. It follows that way. If you are moving to the nearest thousands, then we are talking of up to 6, because that's the thousands column. But because 7 is more than 5, you add 1 to 6 to make it 7. But don't throw away the zeros. Once you add 1 to the 6, 0 will take the place of 7, and 0 will now take the place of the units. So this is how we do the rounding decimal fractions to either units or tens or thousands. Any questions? Okay. Any questions? Yes? Samira?
So that means that when the point is at the right side, you count from the you count from the you count from down to up.
I already said that when you are talking about units, tens without the th. If the th comes, then it is after the point. If there is no th, it is those numbers to the left of the point. So tens, you are interested in the numbers before the point. So that is 3, 5, 6, 7, 2. Are you okay? So the tens is 7 in this case. The units is 2. The thousands, hundreds is 6. Thousands is 5. So that's how you do it. If it is to the right, the first one is terms with the TH. Second one will be hundreds with TH. And the third one will be thousands in that order. Are you okay with that? Are you okay? So that is what you do.
So if it is with the TH, if it is with the TH, it will...
it's after the point.
So if it's a 3 with the TH, to be, you come from the 0.
And with the TH, you don't, this one, it will not apply to this because there are no decimals after the point. There are no decimal points, places after the point. Do you get it? And so the TH will not work here. Are you fine? Yes. All right, so finally, we look at how to round to the nearest whole number, and we end the lesson there. So when we are to round to the nearest whole number, the number before the point is what we call the whole number. In this case, 356 is the whole number. Then those after are the decimal places. So you look at the whole number. After the point, is there any number more than 5? If there is, you add one to the whole number. If the number is less than 5, you don't add anything. So to the nearest whole number, we are talking about what? 356. Point what? 0. Are you okay? To the nearest whole number. This is exactly what we will get. But let's assume there was something in place of 0. Instead of 0, you have 7 or 6 or something. How would it look like? Watch out. So how do you write this? Correct this to the nearest whole number.
356.
So 356 is the whole number. Write the whole number. What do you do next?
So please, because the number after the decimal point is more than 5, you add +1 to the 6.
You add +1 to the 6. Then what comes after the 6?
0.0.
0. So, Asifa, what's the result?
357.
357. So, viewers, in today's lesson, we have looked at how to write or correct decimal places to the nearest units, the nearest tens, nearest hundreds, or to the nearest whole number. And if you follow the procedures that we have outlined, you should be able to do it. Thank you for being part of today's lesson. We hope to meet you again in our next episode. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.